Lay them out over here.
Oh, okay.
Food over here.
How are you?
Okay, here's the pink ones. This is my first time, guys. I'm making this quilt for my beauty pageant in November. So good luck to me. We're doing these colors today, and we're gonna make a full-size quilt for whoever wins the raffle. So if you see this, draw for the raffle. I'm going to do these ones on the edges, the outsides like that, and then I'm just gonna like color coordinate them so they go together with the colors. So, what color do you want to do next? Chloe, come over here.
What kind of gave you the idea for the quilt?
Chloe.
Chloe?
Also, my great-grandmother, she made quilts, but she passed away when I was like 4. And I got passed down a lot of quilts from her. But my mother has them. And I have a few of them, and they're very pretty, and I sleep with them sometimes. But they're decorations right now because I don't want to mess them up. But, yeah.
So a quilt means more to you than just a blanket.
Yeah, I mean, it's a sentimental like memory. I feel like it's like a family generation thing. So I'm just gonna pass it on generations down. And Clee told me to come today, so shout out to Clee. Okay, here we go.
So you recently won the Black Gold Festival pageant.
Yes, I did. I won Miss Black Gold Mini Supreme, which is the second highest title of the entire day of 7-year-olds and up. And I won Princess for Hazard High School just Friday night. So, yeah. And I go to Lexington in November. Do you think this one matches? Or what color?
Do you have another marble?
Which marble?
Like the purple and the teal.
What color do you want to do?
So you got a purple teal and you got a blue.
I got the blue one. Okay. She's helping me right now because I barely know what to do. This is my first time. Like this.
And just move from there. Just match up your different colors, your different patterns that pull from the different.
Okay, so what color? Yeah, but what color should I do like right here?
You have, let's see, probably it'd be another marble.
Another marble?
Yeah, because you want to.
I only have 3 marbles.
You have to alternate. So, no, Phil, no.
You know what color I should do next? You gonna help me?
She can help me.
She gonna help me? I have this pink one still I haven't used. Which one should that? Where should that one go?
It's mostly pink.
I still have this one right here. This blue one I haven't used. And
Put that one over there.
I have this one too.
Either one of them would go.
This one would pop out with this. Maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Or right there. Which one?
Either one.
We're gonna put it right here, y'all.
Are these on paper on it?
Okay, and then I'm probably gonna do this maybe. I don't really know. I'm not really good at designing stuff, but we're trying it. What color should I do in the middle? That's it so far. Huh? I don't know what color. I have no clue what I'm doing. Should I do a marble?
In between, yeah.
Okay, which color marble? Should I do purple again?
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's just see. You'll have to try it several different ways
Okay.
and see which way you like it better.
Okay, and then the next
And
color.
I would alternate, put blue over here and teal over here.
Well, we already go ahead and do that
See
then.
what I'm saying?
Yeah. So it alternates the colors.
And then pick up the centerpiece.
Centerpiece. Which ones? I have this blue one. It matches both of them. Oh, that's pretty. Oh yeah. There we go. I do like that.
And it could be that you would want to sash it, put blocks in between,
What do you mean?
like rectangular blocks in between, like a.
What? I don't know.
If you wanted to put a white thing through it, yeah.
I haven't used this one, nor
That way it would spread your blocks out.
I haven't used this one yet. But I've used pink. The pink is mostly at the bottom.
Yeah. So you can put it at the top, and I don't think it has to have.
Oh, I haven't went sideways.
It don't have to have blue or teal in it.
It don't.
I mean, because it's all going to be in. Like you could actually put it off this. It could play off the purple. Put it right there.
No, I don't like
No,
that.
I don't either. See, that's what I mean. When you have to just keep trying different ways.
I don't think this pattern goes. No,
No.
no. We're gonna try another pattern. Okay, I
Now,
just.
you can try switching those to be equal with that, and see how the pink looks over there.
It'd still be the same.
Because it would be tying in.
I think it would still be the
You
same.
could always put it here. Switch that one out.
With what?
And have pink, pink, pink.
Ooh.
See, there's different ways of looking at it.
The back. Okay.
There's different ways of looking at it. See, it kind of blends in. It just depends on what you're
Okay, then we could do this one.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
So you got
Or right here.
either way.
I like it better on this side. Which side you like? I don't
like it
know.
better on the other one.
Okay. To bring out the colors.
Yeah.
It's all right. Okay.
Because
There
there's
we
more
go.
blue. That blue stands out over there in that one.
No, I'm gonna switch it back over.
But you know what I mean about sashing it, putting the like oblong pieces in.
See, that one looks better. Yeah, I like that one better. Okay. And then in the middle,
A marble.
marble.
Put another purple. Jane, I got your sweatshirt.
How good.
I've been sick. I ain't been to church the past 2 weeks. I was gonna sit by London.
As
We had
we're
strep
trying this
and then,
out, we're trying our best
ankles were
for
swollen so bad,
this.
so I've been stay home
So,
yesterday.
trying to see what patterns I have.
You don't want to be here. He been saying,
This one's the original,
Thank you.
like on the sides.
Yeah. Jane, you want your sweatshirt now? You want one?
yeah,
Okay, go upstairs. I don't think I lost.
Okay,
get it.
marble. Do I need to do another purple or?
I would if you want to keep it consistent going up.
Okay,
What's this? Oh,
then we need something to pull off the purple and the blue. I think this one. Again, I like this color.
well, you haven't used that one
Which one?
on the
This one?
this chevron.
Oh, I haven't.
See what that looks.
Oh, this one's pretty.
Yeah, that works. Now I would try to put some more.
Oh, I'm
pink.
so sorry.
Now I would try to put some more
Oh,
pink.
she is.
Pink,
Like another one of these.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
pink in which spot? Have I used this? I've used this one, but it was at the main bottom.
Right.
So maybe,
Spread them out.
She making it.
yeah, I'm making a quilt.
I like it.
I don't know. I use that one right there. Okay, we're going to switch the colors again.
So don't wash it often. And if you do wash it inside out on gentle side.
And put this one right here. Maybe.
And I've been very picky where I wear.
Maybe I might have to move that one. Do you think I should move that or this one?
She doing that herself?
She said it's fine. It's not fine. Huh?
I guess we should sit the ice.
We made a block.
Sit it up in there.
Oh, I forgot I got a bill to the side too. Okay, so would I put this one right here then? This material.
Good.
Okay, and then put that one right there. Ooh, this is so pretty. Okay, now I need to do the soft colors. Would this line up with this though?
Mm-hmm.
Are you sure? Yeah, it should be fine.
All of your colors that are in your chart, in your layer cake, they're made to go together.
Oh,
They
okay.
all going to coordinate.
Okay. So that one right there. And then, how many blues? You put this blue one down there, please.
Where you want it?
Above this one. You see what I'm doing?
Mm-hmm.
And then, and then, oh, I'm gonna move this stuff. Oops. Okay, what color should we do next? Which pattern? We have this one. Or this one.
Which one do you like?
I don't know. I really like this one, but it don't go with this, with the purple. You know what I'm saying?
One that you got a blue on top of it. Put it up here. See your blues?
Okay, and then I can put a blue one right there. Okay, and then let me give you one. Do I need to give you two? Here.
Can I have where you want it?
Above this one.
Yes, they want us to come and eat.
Oh, okay.
But I would like to welcome everyone to season 3, Stories Behind the Quilt. And this season, we've kind of added a little subtitle that it's quilting and cooking, because we're going to be doing some cooking.
What you talking about him?
And but we'll explain that in a little bit. I'll go ahead and explain it right now. You know, we've been comparing and seeing what we have in common in the Appalachian culture and the African American culture. So now we're going, and we've been talking about quilting and the stories that's come out of all of that. But now we're going to add this measure that we're going to talk about food.
Ain't good.
Food,
So good.
food traditions. I want you to think about, do you have any food traditions in your family? Was there a dish that, your mama, your grandma, even, you made?
Which one?
And, and what's the story behind that food item and that meal? And that's what we want to do. We want to be able to share those family food traditions, and what's the story behind them. Okay, we want to talk about gardening. How many parents, grandparents had gardens?
Grandparents and
Okay, I know my mama
and your uncle there.
shares out her dad, Grandpa, Uncle Will Luntz, had a garden. She was a little girl, and Grandpa be out in the garden working, and she'd go out and try to help, and he'd run her off out of the garden because she was doing more harm than good. She thought she was cutting the weeds down. She was cutting the corn. But she always remembered, her daddy's garden. But so we want to, talk about things like that. And why don't we see a lot of, folks, the African American community in particular, not going into gardening? I know I tried myself. I tried growing, and I found out I don't have a green thumb. Don't have a red thumb. Oh, I can't do it. I tried.
Just can't.
And I might try it again, but it was the groundhogs it was a war against the groundhogs. Everything I planted, they came and ate. So I guess in one way that's successful. Feeding the wildlife.
Yeah.
But we want to talk about that, and I'm hoping at some point to be able to talk to. There's a black guy over in West Virginia, and he has a farm, and he cans, makes the jams and all of that kind of a thing, and he has a farm, and it's they sell items and so forth online and on site at their farm. But when I wanted to find out, what inspired him to do this, and so these are the kind of things that we want to kind of look at. I know our young generation, ain't even thinking about farming.
Nobody got time for that.
Yeah, ain't nobody got time for that. That's one of the biggest things. Yeah, that's true. So we're gonna discuss issues like that. So,
my name is Jenny Williams, and I have a memory, not really a recipe, about food. My father loved to cook, and he was the cook in our family. He says that when he met my mother, all she could make was steak and brownies, and she was a traditional stay-at-home mom, and so she learned to cook, and she cooked every night and cooked a good supper for us, but she never really liked it. She always loved it when somebody else cooked, and that somebody else a lot of times was my daddy, and he would make a huge mess and dirty up every pot and pan in the kitchen, and He loved food. He loved everything about it. He loved different kinds of food. But in his later years, he really started returning a lot to the food kind of his youth. So he grew up kind of poor in Tennessee. And he really grew to appreciate, again, sort of that country cooking. But there was something he always made after Thanksgiving. He would always make, with leftover turkey, he would make a turkey hash. And I can remember him when I got old enough to pay attention. I can remember he would chop up the skin real fine and chop up the meat real fine. So it was a very chopped sort of dish. And I remember that it had almonds in it and onions and garlic and celery. And he would make it in a electric skillet, and we would eat it over rice. And I wish that I had paid more attention and talked to him more about it and really watched how he made it, because after he passed away, I haven't had it again. You know, I've tried to make it. I think other people in my family probably tried to make it, and none of us have really been able to reach that flavor that he produced. And it really just makes me think about how he wasn't using a recipe. He didn't have a recipe. There was no recipe written down. He was just using things. And that flavor that I remember maybe isn't even real. Maybe it's just a memory of what it was like to be young and to be in my family after a big holiday with my dad in the kitchen dirtying up all the pots and pans and my mom scurrying around behind him cleaning up after him to recreate that flavor. But none of us have been able to do it, although I'm pretty sure if you ask my sisters, they'll all claim they can make it exactly like he could, but they can't.
But now let's get to the quilt that we'll be making during over the next 6 sessions or so. And I'm going to give that to Kay.
All right. Well, the quilt that our theme for this workshop is Appalachia. So, I want everybody to do a block. Jane, you got your taste of actually stitching last workshop. That was great. So I know you can do a block this year. We're gonna design our own blocks and put our blocks together to make the quilt. I wanted to ask you guys. Let's see. Do you have paper in here? Yeah, good. Okay. What you think about when you hear the word Appalachia? So what do you think about, Jane, when you hear Appalachia?
Heathens. No, I'm just thinking about the mountains.
Mountains. Now let's give different answers, okay? Okay, somebody else said something?
Eastern Kentucky.
Eastern Kentucky.
Coal mining.
Coal mining. Anybody else?
He has some.
What field? Never. Say it. What do you think about? Huh? Kudzu.
Okay, yes, you know, they have electrics and all that.
Anybody else? Clee?
They had the same answer I was.
Be thinking on it. Think of something. There's a lot of things we can be thinking about. Em's already mentioned gardening.
Did anybody mention our mountains?
Yes.
The mountain ranges from
Quilting.
all the way through.
You think of anything else? You said something during the last workshop, our last class. You said
Talking about my block, or
you said log cabin. Log
that was
cabin.
my log cabin block. Because that's one of the oldest quilt blocks that.
Oh, so that's gonna be my block now.
Maybe. Well, no, I'm just getting.
Well,
Just getting.
I don't know what on a quilt, but it was outdoor.
It could be
Outdoor toilets.
outdoor toilet.
Oh yeah. Yep.
Anybody else? Anything else?
Barefoot break.
Now we don't want to put all of ours.
I know what I said. Don't be putting all our stuff there.
What was out there like
One room
that?
school.
Schoolhouse. Okay.
One room school. First they didn't have first through 12 was in one room.
Miss Katie, what do you think about when you hear Appalachia?
Dirt roads.
I think it's wonderful, really. I enjoy it myself, so I'm just glad that we can come back and be with each other and share our ideals. And,
But when you hear the word Appalachia,
yeah.
what do you think of?
I don't know.
So somebody said mountains, somebody said Eastern Kentucky, mining, kudzu, gardening, log cabin, outhouse, one-room schoolhouse,
Yeah, but it's just
Helping
building
each
up
other.
like a quilt.
helping each other. So,
Neighbor helping neighbor.
so community.
Community,
Community.
looking out for one another.
Large families.
Mm-hmm.
Did you get dirt roads? I thought dirt roads. All of our roads are not paved.
No.
You're getting there.
Construction all the time.
Believe it or not, railroad.
Quilt.
Railroad.
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 Okay. Anybody else? Anything
Swinging bridges.
Swinging bridge.
It's interesting that
Dirt
it
yards.
seems like what we're thinking of things that we are related to Appalachia.
Uh-huh.
It seems to be things in the past.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So
Yeah.
what about how do we think about Appalachia? I mean, now we're thinking about a lot of things, from the past.
Well, like Jane said before, you still have the mountains. You now have the highways.
So let me ask this question. Do you see yourself as Appalachian? You ever thought about yourself as Appalachian? You may think of yourself as an African American, but growing up here in this area, have you ever thought about yourself as an Appalachian?
I'll be honest, I haven't.
I haven't either.
Just
I
say
haven't.
that I'm an
Appalachian,
Appalachian. No.
Mm-mm.
Oh, yeah,
We don't
Appalachian.
describe ourselves that way.
No.
See, when I was growing up,
Have you?
when I was growing up, I struggled to reconcile because I called myself an Appalachian, but I called myself also an African American. So I struggled to reconcile the two, cultures.
May I ask you, how did you know growing up that you were in an Appalachian?
The things that we've been talking about and looking at how we have in common. It's just certain things. I know when I went to Berea, I was fascinated by the Appalachian studies classes. It talked about the people that came here, Scotch Irish, descent, where they came from, and all of that kind of thing. I was really just taken with, those kind of things. There was movies that I watched. One of them, I can't remember the name of it, but it was about this professor, this woman, and she was into the music of Appalachia. And this was back a while. And, she had a phonograph. And she went into the mountains and found folks and recorded their singing and those the Appalachian songs and the music. But I don't know. I'm just fascinated with all of that.
Well, the reason I asked because growing up, you never did hear in the African American community that you're from Appalachian. You're from Kentucky. That more or less they considered you a hillbilly. You didn't hear that you was an Appalachian. You heard that you was a hillbilly. And if you were from Hazard, you were really a hillbilly because the way you talk.
Until you go to Alpha College and make up dulces. Then you're in Appalachia.
Yeah.
So growing up, you never heard. I never heard of being around the grown-ups or anything says, "Oh, we live in Appalachia. We lived in Kentucky, and they consider you as hillbillies." But that's when I said, "How did you know to say I'm an Appalachian?"
Yeah, it was just something, that drew me to both cultures. And, I just recognize that. Well, when y'all were out partying, my daddy said never let me go partying.
Mhm.
The way y'all were on Liberty Street partying, I was at home watching Hee Haw.
Yeah, me too.
It's Hee Haw.
Long story.
A long time
But what she said, go ahead, I'm
A
sorry.
long time ago, my mom had gone to a Presbyterian women's meeting and things, and they was talking about, and they had different workshops throughout this time that she was at this particular meeting about Appalachia, stereotypes,
Mhm.
this and that. Well, she had sat there and listened to all the negatives that she could.
Mm-hmm.
She finally got up and she told them, she said, I am proud to be from Appalachian in Kentucky.
Mhm.
She told them that she was born in Owsley County, that was more rural than where she lived now.
Mm-hmm.
And she said, she said, I had it all figured out, that I was from the beautiful mountains until I come in here and heard all of this stuff that y'all are talking about
Right.
these people. And she said, I'm not liking what I'm hearing. And,
Well, I didn't like the Beverly Hillbillies.
yeah.
Mhm.
Who doesn't like the Beverly Hillbillies? I didn't.
But she said, she said after she talked and someone of them came up and said, you turn that part of the meeting around.
Yeah.
Get him back to the people, to their focus.
Mhm.
Right.
Yeah, we've got our problem. We've got our low income people.
Oh, yeah.
We got our high income people.
Mm-hmm.
And we're all serving one person,
Mm-hmm.
trying to serve God in our community to help one another.
Yeah.
So one thing that I got out of that, not one thing, but was the music. So and especially the musical instruments, because there's history behind where those instruments came from. We hear a lot of banjo music around here, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's an African instrument.
Mm-hmm.
That's an African instrument.
Oh, it is.
And then so that was what the African Americans, that's one of their contributions to Appalachia. But also, of course, the dulcimer that Jane mentioned. So that's an Appalachian instrument. Also, it made me think about the dancing, where they do clogging and square dancing, and that's Appalachian tradition. But it also came from Scotland, Ireland, from those immigrants that was brought from there. We've got, and we'll be talking about some more history of Appalachia later, but we've got some Italians, we've got Germans, we've got the Scotch Irish. Of course, Native Americans were the original people here. And then you have the African Americans, and Emily mentioned African Americans in Appalachia. There's a term for that called Appalachians. Appalachians. So that's really a term for African Americans here in Appalachia, Appalachians. And there's also, what was the other one? The mixed race. It's in that
Mulattoes?
Melungeons. That's African Americans, Native Americans, whites, Melungeons.
This is all the mix.
Everybody, yeah. And then, so we'll be talking more about the history of Appalachia here along the way. That'll be part of our conversations, but it's going to be pretty interesting. So y'all think about anything else? She mentioned.
Well, I got a question for Em, Pastor Em. When did you start saying African American?
When? Oh no,
Not always.
everybody else saying it before me, so.
I think that had something to do with civil rights.
Let's look
Black
at that.
Panthers.
Let's look at that and see.
Because I still say black.
Yeah,
I don't say African American. I say black.
yeah.
Well,
I found myself using both.
Mm-hmm.
Don't know why, but I found myself using both.
I've never
And I don't know if it's because I felt more comfortable in a certain situation using one than the other. I don't know, but I found myself using both.
Let's look into that
Okay.
and let's explore that. Because there was an evolution of
Mhm.
terminology.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
Throughout the years.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
I just don't know when.
Because during civil rights, it was I'm black and I'm proud.
There you go.
And so, but before that,
Say it
it
again.
was something else, and then now it's something else. So that'd be something interesting to look into. But now, so Charlinda said something else that I pulled from what you said. You said that the lady said we have poor and we have the rich, but we all serve the same person and we work together. So church is it's rich in these mountains, whether it's what
That was one of
our
the main-
denomination or not. It's faith is really strong in Appalachia.
Oh, very much so.
Faith.
And people hunted a lot in the mountains, I
Mm-hmm.
know my father and my brother, they would hunt a lot.
My uncle did too. Squirrel and rabbits.
Mm-hmm.
I know
Hunting.
yesterday I ended and when our pastor got through with doing the church service, I said, Steve, I got an announcement. And he just sort of looked at me and I thought, okay. I said, tomorrow evening, I've been waiting for our third group session to start with the African American in the quilting. And
Mm-hmm.
I said, this time they've incorporated, going to start talking about cooking.
Mm-hmm.
Cooking our Appalachia foods and things. I said, if you go out and go across the street, you can draw a triangle and you'll get 3 churches.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I said, I am blessed to be in this group that I'm getting ready to go to, I was coming to tonight, which I am.
Amen.
I'm finding out more about your all's culture,
Mm-hmm.
what the certain things are holidays or things that y'all have that are a little different from what, and here in Eastern, if we're not aware of it, we just sort of let it roll by,
Yeah,
but I'm
that's
glad to learn more about
That's
it.
true.
Yeah.
That's true.
And so that's another thing
That's
about
right.
Appalachia. There's so many different cultures here
So
that
many.
it's very diverse.
Yes, it is.
It's very diverse. So there's a whole lot to learn.
As long as nobody don't bring no chickens in here expecting me to taste them.
Yeah, you can have some more pizza.
I'm good.
But yeah, that's
I'm
one
good.
of the.
I'm good.
That's one of the. That's one of the.
Chickens.
That's one.
I think we can talk about them.
Yeah.
We don't
but
have
we-
to eat them.
We don't have to cook them.
Well, that's part. If you're gonna, that's one of the African American
Yes, it is.
So that's,
dishes. So
Because
if you're gonna be for real, be for real. You can't.
Because we always,
You gotta be for real.
slaves always got the leftovers, the innards and all that,
Because that's what they had to use.
Yeah,
right.
They had to make use of
every bit,
bit of
every
it.
little bit.
And when they were in the slaves, when they could not use the best part of the chicken and
We
the
ate that
hog,
and tested.
they had to. They ate what they did, and they fixed the big meal out of how they
Yeah.
fed their family. So you might snore your nose at it, but that's how your ancestors survived.
Mhm.
Well, I don't see how you can eat. You can stand to eat something that you can't hardly stand to smell.
That's my thing. I can't get past the
I
smell.
can't get past that
Well,
smell.
come to my house. All I can tell you, you won't get up from the table.
So anything else y'all think of? Anything else when you hear the word Appalachia? What about basket weaving? People do that, a lot of that around here.
What they do? Whittle?
Yeah, whittling.
What's called?
And they do the making baskets. They do,
They blew.
and that's a thing in the African American culture too.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah,
The
most
basket.
Yeah,
people-
the basket.
Basket weaving.
they still do that in Africa.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Oh,
In her first
and I mentioned the Native American Indians.
Did they ride
Yeah.
horses?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, oh, yeah.
Mhm.
That's mostly how they got around. Horseback, right, right. I remember being over Big Mama and Grandpa's, before you get to the graveyard, they lived down on Lick Branch. You had to go, well, Miss Katie know where Big Mama and Grandpa lived, and they'd have a horse, and we would ride the horse up to the top of the hill and then walk to town.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody used to ride horse on down mountain.
But it was just something you did.
Mm-hmm.
So I think with
Paul, you
this
and them,
workshop, we'll be really delving into the different cultures and, see what we have in common, how we got here, all of that kind of a thing.
How did we? No, I'm just kidding. How did we?
People walked in the mountains. They didn't ride. We didn't. We walked to school, and we didn't have no cars at that time when we were growing up either.
What y'all put on your shoes? What they say they put on the shoes?
We had rubber boots.
Yeah, we had the boots, but before.
I had the rubber boots.
Yeah, rubber.
Wasn't no Walmart, honey.
Just
I
rubber.
got mine at the secondhand store.
Opportunity, yeah.
Opportunity store. That's
We didn't have Walmart back then. Wasn't no Walmart.
Yeah. Does anybody have any other questions about the workshop?
Looking
what-
forward
and what to
getting-
expect.
Getting excited about seeing what's gonna happen.
Yeah.
Okay, well,
So what? How about this food now? I want to know how we're gonna do this food. Like, is everybody gonna bring a?
We're gonna ask, for example, we're gonna ask somebody for next week. Now I won't be here next week
so she
because I'll
said,
be on
don't.
vacation.
Okay.
But so I'm gonna miss that. But for example, tonight we want to ask somebody to volunteer to bring a dish. They're the family
Doesn't have to be
tradition.
anything fancy or nothing like that.
and to be able to share the story behind that.
No, I'm not ready. I'm not ready to cook next week. I won't volunteer next week.
Next week. Okay, but you will. You will.
I
later
will.
on.
I
She
will.
has to decide what to make.
Yeah.
That's how I am.
So think about it then. Just think about it. We might have to do sandwiches or something next week. Everybody think about
You'll make a peanut butter and jelly sandwich.
peanut butter and jelly sandwich.
That is what kids used to take in their
that's what we
lunchbox.
used to have.
I still eat peanut butter and jelly
that's what we used to
sandwiches.
eat.
I get a craving for peanut butter and jelly sandwich. Fried bologna.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
But now
Yeah.
one workshop we want to do soup beans. We want to do beans, and we want to talk about why there's different beans, soup beans, brown beans, and they call
Butter
them
beans,
different
butter
things,
beans,
butter beans.
White beans.
Yeah. We want to
Mixed
talk about
beans.
that.
Black beans.
What your parents,
Red
and grandparents
beans.
fix? You know which
Yeah.
which
What they
one?
call it.
Yeah.
and-
Because I know
How they make
mama
it.
and daddy, they always fix soup beans,
Soup beans.
That's all we-
brown beans.
Sometimes you just call them, mom call them soup beans.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah,
Pinto beans.
Yeah, see, I've heard
Yeah.
that.
yeah. So we want to kind of talk about that and then whoever might bring some of those beans in, cook them and bring them in, and and another thing about those is what meat do you use to season your beans?
Ooh.
Mhm.
Like your Chinese secret.
But that's what we're gonna do. So
Okay.
somebody might say chicken and dumplings was our big family thing. Bring in a big pot of chicken and dumplings.
Ah,
Soup beans, neck bones, and potatoes and cornbread.
Neck bones.
What's next one?
That's what I want to hear somebody
And a
say.
cabbage. She
If I do
cabbage
bring,
too.
that's what it
Well,
is
just
gonna
don't bring them
be.
next week when I ain't here.
What's next
Soup
one?
You just have to miss out. Yeah, we want
Soup
that.
beans, neck bones, potatoes, and cabbage.
We will
All
accept.
kind of potatoes. You could come
We
in
will
your
accept.
And your neck bones.
The neck bones
With the
from the
potatoes that was
chicken.
taken out of the garden.
And
when
it's,
you all
and it's naked bones.
It's
Oh, see, that's gonna be the discussion when we have that.
And
We
Shay,
gotta
Shay is sitting over here just turning her face up at everything we mentioned.
And we're gonna make her taste everything. We're gonna make her taste everything. Yeah, you are. You're gonna be the taster. You're gonna make.
But
the
it's
rest of the neck
important.
bones.
It's important that
Yeah.
you hear the story and the
Mhm.
history behind soup beans.
Oh, I like soup beans and cornbread, yeah, but I ain't eating no neck bones.
I heard.
Yes, you will.
Yes, you
You're
will.
gonna love
They
this
will.
neck bone.
I wish I hadn't
good
even
meat. That's
mentioned the
good
name.
Yeah, it is.
And see, there's a
Have
reason
you ever ate cooked ribs?
why neck
I know,
bones.
right?
Right.
Uh,
There's a
Right.
reason why.
Right.
Just probably eat ribs and not know what you
And if you
Right.
get them up in here and say we like the neck bone, oh,
I got a question for you all.
Okay.
When y'all have
What if it's big?
soup beans, do you put it with soup beans and cornbread? Or do you all do soup beans and rice?
Oh,
no,
I've
never
never had
heard
rice
that.
with it.
never
You
rice.
heard that.
No, I do cornbread and things.
Oh,
But Lucy Jones, when she cooked soup
But don't knock it because it could be good.
Right.
and she
No,
fixed
I'm
it,
not.
I
I'm
said,
just saying we don't never
do
rice.
We had a
That's
friend
like
that
rice.
lived in and she did Louisiana and she did
That's red beans and
rice.
rice.
Red beans and
Yeah.
rice.
But Lucy,
Yeah.
when she cooks pinto beans, she said rice was cheap. She could feed her and Anthony and them
Okay.
on rice and beans, and that they had rice and beans.
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
And that,
Yeah.
See, we need her to come and talk about that when we have our
Yeah.
So that's
session
all, that could be
on
something she
beans.
just decided to make up because she knew about red beans and rice.
Yeah.
And so she wanted to make her beans go
Try with
longer. So she
Yeah, that's a
just
story.
put rice in them one
It's a
night.
story
It
behind
is.
the
It is.
meal.
And
I
she
said,
still
well,
does it.
it's something that all African Americans do, or is this something that Lucy's
Nah,
come up
that's something
with?
Lucy come up with. That's a Lucy thing.
Mhm.
But they would make a meal out of
Yeah. Anything.
anything.
Goulash.
They so
Goulash, I like
that's
goulash.
exactly what
That's
they call it.
German. And they are some of the immigrants from here. So that's where that came from.
My mama ain't had no goulash since my mama.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Daddy used to
Yeah.
make it.
Yeah.
Daddy used
My
to
mama
make it.
had the best goulash.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And you know what else she had? Good. What was that? Turkey hash.
Turkey hash.
Turkey hash.
Yeah.
I bet you had that
You-
right after day after
Mhm.
Thanksgiving.
After
Yeah.
Thanksgiving.
Hey,
Yeah.
don't throw away that bird. You gotta
That's
come
right.
and make a meal out of
Yeah.
the leftovers.
Yeah.
Anything that was made out of a hash.
Yeah. Yeah.
It was
Make
like
a
a
hash.
hash.
You make a hash or a
A
goulash.
goulash or a hash. And then she'd have those homemade biscuits.
Mhm.
Oh.
Mm.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, eating just like it was good.
Turkey hash is sort of like turkey casserole. It's turkey and some gravy and different
Well,
things.
our breakfast was like pork chop,
Yeah. Yeah.
potatoes and
Yeah.
eggs,
Yeah.
Fried chicken.
fried chicken.
Y'all got that for
But you know,
breakfast?
but you know the reason
breakfast.
they
You know why
you
they
know the
ate
Breakfast was the
dad.
most important meal of the day.
Yeah.
They
Mom.
give us cereal.
Oh.
But,
Poor baby.
but nowadays,
That's why you so little.
But you know the reason they
nowadays
didn't.
we don't. And you know, breakfast used to be the biggest meal,
Yeah.
It still is.
and lunch.
It's supposed to be.
Yeah, but you know
Because
what?
they
The
went
reason
out
they
in the
did
fields and their yard gardens and on their farms, and they worked for
You were about to see him to the
about
next
5 or 6
morning.
hours after you ate your
That's right.
breakfast. You
Yeah.
didn't get to go back to bed and take a nap
Yeah.
because your belly was full and you were sleepy.
Little May's breakfast was our alarm clock. She had no trouble getting her children up.
Because you smell
Because she
it.
put, you remember the old coffee pots? Have you ever seen the Maxwell
Yeah.
House?
Yeah. They,
Do-do-do-do-do-do-do.
uh-huh.
That's
Good
Little
to the
May's
last
coffee
drop.
pot.
Uh-huh.
She put that coffee on and you could smell it. Then you smell them fried potatoes.
Mhm.
And we were up.
No, you
Yeah.
remember that scene in the Color Purple when Miss Celia was cooking breakfast for Miss
Yeah, yeah.
and the dogs came.
Uh-huh.
That's how her breakfast was.
She fed us like that because we didn't have any recess money.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
She didn't have any recess money to give us, so we ate. She fed us good. We wasn't hungry until lunchtime.
Mhm.
We had lunchtime.
Mhm.
I couldn't be sleepy up there.
Yeah.
I'll be ready to take a nap.
Yeah.
Wow.
So let me ask y'all this. Getting back to Appalachia. Who knows what states are in Appalachia? Or even what it's shaped like?
It's Kentucky.
Virginia, Virginia, West Virginia. Let's see.
I
what's
thought it
some
was just
more?
Kentucky.
No, it's Virginia. Oregon.
He's seen my stuff.
Yeah, Tennessee's one of them.
So you think about just what's around us.
Yeah, around.
Okay.
Yeah.
So this is a map of Appalachia. And you got, at the very top, you got the lower part of New York. You got Pennsylvania.
Wow.
You've got part of Ohio, West Virginia, Maryland, a little bit of Maryland stuck up in there under Pennsylvania. You have Virginia, so you've got West Virginia and some of West Virginia. You got North Carolina. You come over. You got Kentucky. You got part of Tennessee. You got South Carolina, Georgia, Alabama, and Mississippi.
And it's not the whole Mississippi.
Right,
It's
not
not
the
the
whole
whole
part.
States.
It's just partial.
part.
It's just partial.
Wow.
Back to quilt blocks. Have you thought about what size you want each person's block to come out to be?
You'll find out next week.
Oh, next week.
Mm-hmm.
13?
Yeah, you'll find out next week. So you
Wow.
And when I see this map, and you think about Appalachia going from the top all the way down the bottom, the Appalachian Trail
Mhm.
runs from one end to the other end.
Mhm.
Really?
And people walk that trail.
Yeah.
They hike that trail.
They're hiking trails.
Yeah,
They're all through
sometimes
there.
they hike, they'll go and hike part of it. And sometimes they'll hike, the whole thing. It might take months
Mm-hmm.
to hike it.
Wow.
How many miles do you know?
Yeah.
How many miles?
I don't know, but that's part of the history that we can look at. Yeah.
What did that T-shirt say in Gatlinburg? I hiked the
Entire width.
entire width of
Mm-hmm.
the Appalachian Trail. The
Mm-hmm.
entire width was just a little bit.
Yeah.
Across.
Mm-hmm.
In my younger days, that was one of my bucket list dreams. My bucket done turned over now. Can't hold it. I really wanted to do that, is hike that trail.
You can just walk the width of it.
Yeah.
You can walk the width of it.
Yeah. Go walk the width.
See, that's the thing about my Appalachian side. When we grew up, we played up in the hills.
Mhm.
We built forts.
Yeah.
We built Fort
We sure
Bluebird,
did.
Fort Harrodsburg.
Mhm.
We played Daniel Boone.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
So
we
I
didn't
wanted to
play
hike
Cowboys
that
and
trail.
Yeah.
we didn't name the fort. We didn't have
Turn the outhouse over with
We
people
been
in.
forwards
That's
and shot
our
at each
brothers.
other.
Shot-
Real camera
We had,
now.
and we had acorn fights.
Her daughters.
We had acorn fights.
Yeah.
I mean, they would throw at us really hard too. It'd be me and Tiny and Cheryl and Allison and all of us, all the girls on the street against Willis. And he would fire them, him and Steve. They would fire those acorns at us like they weren't gonna
Did they
hurt
have a
us.
slingshot?
Like they just bounce off.
That's what we had. Slingshot.
They had slingshots. He's got one now.
Yeah. You remember the pawpaw trees? You don't even see those anymore.
I remember on Grandpa's, whenever we go to visit Grandpa on Town Mountain, there was that pawpaw tree. Yeah.
Well, there was one on Oakhurst, right down. The Hills live there, but it used to be a little road, and the Hinches lived down in there. But that pawpaw tree was right on the side going down
Yeah.
to the Hinches. Grizzly.
Mhm.
You can go all the way to Liberty Street.
Yeah, you can use that trail going to
We would go out and
remember the
get
pear tree.
walnuts and hickory
Pear tree,
nuts.
but I don't
Walnuts and
remember
hickory nuts, yeah, yeah.
So what I want to do now, what time is it?
It is
7 o'clock.
Okay, well, let me show you. You know, we always have a block to start with our theme. Well, we didn't have one this time. So I've been working on it. And you guys tell me what you see.
Oh.
Oh, yeah.
lions and tigers and bears.
Oh, wow.
So there's a lot of wildlife in Appalachia.
Wow, yeah. Yeah, wildlife.
The green, that's kudzu.
Oh, that's interesting.
That's what Phil says. What Phil has there.
This immigrants, that represents the immigrants that came from across, people who, and they left not just because of employment. That was religious persecution. A lot of them were going through religious persecution. So that and the economy, wanting new jobs, wanting freedom, that's why a lot of the Europeans migrated. So, of course, you got the map, Appalachia, the whole area there. Of course, kudzu, I couldn't leave kudzu out because
It's everywhere.
it's everywhere.
It's still everywhere.
It keeps growing and
That's
growing.
really nice. I like that.
That's pretty.
That's pretty.
So the blocks that will go around this will be other things of Appalachia. So, and this is not going to be your typical looking quilt. Nothing's going to match. Nothing, but it's all going to have the same theme, but it's not, the colors may not match up, but that's part of the story. Like I said, there's so much diversity in Appalachia. We may not all look like we go together, but we go together. See what I'm saying? But so you're going to have a lot of different diverse blocks going around this quilt.
And this is one of my mother's quilts. This is called tacking. I don't know if anybody ever seen any tacking in the quilts.
I've done tacking
This
before.
is my mother, and I know it's 100 years old.
Ooh.
Wow.
So she
That's
just made
pretty.
it out of old material, that dresses and whatever that she could, find to make it out of.
Oh, wow.
But this is called a tack, and I don't know really why they tacked it, but they did.
Mm-hmm.
And then I think she took an old sheet,
To put in between.
the sheet,
Yeah.
and made the backing.
Oh, the back and she made
Mhm.
On tacking, it was one of the ways that the ladies could put their quilts together, and then after they got their top made, they would have a quilting bee. Some of them may come in and do the hand quilting, the real faint little small stitches. And then they would do the tacking. That would help hold the back and the front adding
So
together.
that's the reason why they tacked it.
Yeah,
To hold the backing together. Oh, okay then. I'm just wondering why
Instead
they
of doing all the
did
stitches.
All the
tacking.
stitches. Because you can see on the back of the quilt on that sheet, you can see how that's how they held it together.
Yeah.
It's been
That's
used
how they
a
had
lot,
to
but
tack.
it's still,
Yeah.
the
See,
back.
look at all that.
Get that.
Yeah.
Right now. Are you ready?
So this is how my mother and grandmother did. They really,
That's pretty.
That is
Would-
pretty.
That's
they were quilting a lot.
They had their
Okay,
Hold
the
it up.
story behind the quilt is my mother made this quilt. She just took some old dresses and old pants and just made out of the quilt. And then they would sew a lot. And then the backing, she just took some, I guess a sheet and made the backing out of it. And then they would tack it. And just like the lady said, they would tack it to hold it together. The backing and the front of it together. I guess it's about 100 years old, maybe. But you can tell it's been used a lot because some of it's beginning to be tired.
So you can see the back.
Okay, so
But I do have some more quilts that my mother and my grandmother made. So I guess the material was pretty stout because it didn't tear that much. So I just wanted to show you a quilt of my mother's
Beautiful quilt.
made.
Shay, can you share your story and inspiration for quilting?
Hello, my name is Deshay. I go by Shay. I am currently a junior in high school right now. My inspiration in quilting is Clee, and my great grandmother used to like make me blankets when I was younger, and I have 2 of them at the house right now, and my mom has the rest of them. But like, she died a long time ago, but I was really young still, and I still got to watch her make quilts and stuff like that, which was very inspiring. And Clee comes here every weekend, so she dragged me out of the house tonight because I had nothing to do. And so I finally came, and I'm currently working on a quilt so I can do a raffle to give it away to whoever wins the raffle, because I'm going to state in November for my pageant. So, yeah. Is that all? Thank you. But
Well, we are so glad that you have decided to join us in season 3 of Stories Behind the Quilt. Because you are an inspiration to us. You know why?
Why?
Because we've been trying to figure out how do we get our young people involved and interested in quilting, and here you come in.
Clee's been asking me to come in for a while, but I came in today.
Well, you inspired us
And
today.
then maybe you can go to school and tell some more. Say,
your friends.
it's really fun.
My friends live like an hour away, but they still go to my school. So,
Well, you can say your school tell
So
some
where
of
do you go to school? Hazard?
yes, I go to Hazard High School. Yep. Also, recently I won Princess for Hazard High School.
Oh, yeah.
And
Congratulations.
thank you. And I got Miss Black Gold Mini Supreme at my pageant, which sets second place overall out of every 6 years old and all the way up to 60-year-old at the pageant.
That's why you're making the
Congratulations.
quilt to help you go
Yes.
somewhere else.
I'm going to state in November, like I already have it planned and stuff like that. But I have the papers and stuff. I'm just trying to raise money so I can get it back and use it towards outfits for the the pageant because it's expensive. And I just, when I get extra money, I just give it to Cleve. Yeah.
Well, good, you are an inspiration.
Yes, you are.
Go me.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Next week when I come down here, I'll bring. They're really old, but they're still stuck together. I think she would have been like. She was born in 25, 24, 25. So. Oh damn. So she would have been like 97. She would have been 97 if she was alive right now. So them blankets are about 70, 80 years old. So.
You bring them next week so we can
I
get
will.
the story behind them.
I have 2 of them.